Dan McQuillan, nice to see you here at IBC24. Tell me about the products you're showing at the Broadcast Bionics stand here.
So we're showing a couple of different products, but really on the theme of AI, or what we call augmented intelligence. So that's making smarter tools to help you do more in the studio. Not replacing talent, but augmenting talent. So here with Camera One, which is our budget camera switching system, yes, we're generating content automatically from the studio, switching cameras, but what we wanted to demonstrate then was the ability to quickly repurpose and reformat that as vertical video. So we partnered with Choppity, who automatically reframe that content. We've traditionally been doing live camera switching for streaming. We've been doing social media. Now we can help using AI tools automatically repurpose, reframe that content. So what we're doing here is not just the cropping. The trimming is done by automatically using AI to detect the highlights, using AI to allow you to edit that, using just a script editor, and using AI and transcription then to bake the captions on the top. So everything from the camera switching to the editing, captioning to the reframing and cropping is happening really, really quickly. The AI will give you prompts and suggestions, and you can use the cloud-based tools to really manually change that and edit it. So we've had access to AI tools for a while, and there's a lot of people trying to make AI voices, 11 Labs and other people. And first of all, I have no advantage in doing that. There's not technology that I can really develop, but I don't really believe that the part of radio, which is building community, and creating genuine connections, is something which AI can do. What I do think AI can do is help build those connections. So whether that's getting social media content more quickly so we can share more of that content, or we're using transcription to transcribe WhatsApp messages when they hit the studio so they become searchable and discoverable. So instead of just a stream of audio hitting you, we can really find the best comments. We're also showing the use of AI language models to summarize all of your social media in real time. So again, instead of hundreds of messages hitting the studio, maybe you read the top 5 or the top 10. We'll simply give you a list of what topics are your audience talking about, what are the best messages of each of those topics. So you can read everything your audience is thinking and feeling. And that's what we mean by augmented intelligence. It's augmenting your ability in the studio to build those communities, to create that connection. There is nothing artificial about the content. There's nothing which is generative. We're not using fake voices, generating content. We are enhancing and empowering your ability to engage as much as possible with your audience. So you build that genuine connection. So you can build that sense of community. And as we do so, we think radio has a unique ability to offer something which generative AI forms like Spotify, they can't do that. They absolutely have a place. Radio should be able to maintain its prime position as that authentic voice of your local community, as that listening friend you have that sense of identity and relationship with.
It's a huge advantage for the production team.
And it's a good example of that idea of, so you mentioned Phonebox, and Phonebox is very dear to my heart. It's the success that became all of these products. But we rebranded that in 2015, 2016 to pick up on this idea of bionic studio. And this is what you're referring to here. These are the topics that my audience is talking about. Concerns about affordable childcare. And so we then picked Emma from Norwich, who's really concerned about the lack of affordable childcare. I am Sarah from London. I wanted to share my concerns. And so we've got all of these different things about the NHS and healthcare, concerns about education, local issues. And then we've got examples of each and a summary of what those audiences are talking about.
And is this showing the texts that have come in relevant times, but then your system has put them together?
Yeah, we haven't told it these topics. It's figured out that these are the individual topics. It's ranking them in the order of the most messages, and then it's picking out what it thinks are the most. This does a couple of things. First of all, it helps us to understand the mood and mind of our audience, which is useful. Second of all, sometimes we start a conversation and maybe we carry on the wrong topic. So we can show you, the topics you were talking about, they're beginning to burn with the audience, and now maybe we're talking about this topic, but actually we can see the audience is now less interested in this topic. Maybe we should change, and we can actually surface content and say, actually 20% of the audience is now talking about healthcare, but 40% of your audience is interested about inflation and about something else. So this can be a content generation tool as well as a curation tool of saying, just find me, I'm just about to switch topics, talk about something else. just find me the best 3 messages I can use to introduce that and hopefully pull for more content. Maybe even surface something really early in the mind of our audiences and picking something which is an up-and-coming issue. So lots of different ways of enhancing and augmenting traditional radio workflows.
And to have a synthetic voice read out some of those things might be a useful thing.
I mean, you could have a synthetic sidekick, I guess, if you've got the primary talent. And interestingly, we could actually take this smart view and you could say, hey, Sarah, the sidekick, just tell me what the audience is thinking. And you could literally just read something like that. Weirdly, we are using artificial voices here. So these voice notes that we've got in the studio, these are actually written for us by an AI. And then this voice that's just reading it is actually their voice. So what we do is that a lot of what we're doing in the UK is we now have full integration with WhatsApp and WhatsApp voice notes. So we're pulling in a lot of people who are willing to send a voice note. We can call those people back as well. So if they're really, really good, we might try and say, would you be on the air? Same with text messages. It's a very common format now that people text in the studio. Before you read that text, in phone box, you can just touch the text, hit dial, just phone them and say, hey, would you be willing to be on the air? And most people are flattered to be asked, and probably 75% will go on the air. And you've turned an okay piece of content maybe into a great piece of content. As well as transcribing and making all the WhatsApp voice notes searchable so you can find the best voice notes without having to listen to every one. Then you can either promote that again by turning it into a live call with them. We're also able to do AI speech enhancement and denoising. So often we'll find a piece of content that someone sent over WhatsApp. And I don't know why, but people will regularly shouting in the car. I don't hear right, we've got quite a lot of background noise. The technology now is incredible to be able to denoise that and enhance the speech. And again, we're helping you to salvage content that would not necessarily be broadcastable. But we're not actually creating fake content at that point. We're just salvaging a piece of content and increasing the quality of it to make it pass grade, which is another great use of AI technology. We shouldn't be afraid of it. We should just make sure that the accountants will use it to replace us. You know what? The accountants are just doing their job. So why don't we do ours, which is to figure out how we use those tools, enhance our workflows to enhance our audio and be more creative, be more compelling,